Hello Bears fans and welcome to our Science Sports Network.
I'm Erin Devine.
And I'm Maddie Wilson and this is Sports on Main.
The Bears have been very busy since we last were on air and we have a full recap for those of you who've missed the action.
And as always, we'll give you a preview of all the action on this upcoming week.
Sports on Main.
On Saturday, Alyssa Delorme put a cap on her fantastic junior season at the 2022 NCG Championships held at Ithaca College. She scored a 35.175 points, which earned her NCGA All-American honors.
On Saturday, women's lacrosse faced off against Bryn Mawr, beating them 13-6. With senior Riley Morgan leading the Bears with 4 goals. The Bears also got a hat trick out of freshman Grace Lynch. On Wednesday, the women's team dominated Gwen and Mercy 23-7 as Grace Lynch dominated, scoring 7 goals. Freshman Maeve Leonzi scored 4 goals, and Riley Morgan again scored 3 goals. As her strong senior season continues, we sat down with Riley Morgan to talk about her final season as a Bear.
What's up, Bears fans? My name is Aaron Diamond, and I have the pleasure of sitting with senior captain of the women's lax team at Ursinus College, Riley Morgan. Riley, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
No problem. Thank you for your time today. So first, let's just start it off with how did you and your team, establish such momentum for the start of your season, and how are you carrying out that, special traction that you guys have established for yourself for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think, the past 2 years have been really rough with COVID and having our season shortened. So I think we really just wanted to take a moment to appreciate every opportunity and really every practice that we got. And I think losing so much, especially for the senior class, the past 2 years, we really just wanted to do everything we could to have a really awesome season this year.
You guys are doing your thing. So a little birdie told me a couple of days ago that you had a crazy game against Bryn Mawr. You made 4 goals on 5 shots?
Yeah.
Jesus, talk to me. What's going on?
Yeah, I think this year, out of all the teams I've played with so far, we're the most selfless team I think I've ever played with. We've really moved the ball well, and we're always looking for that open girl. And I think, I'm a cutter. I'm not really a driver, so all of my goals, I think, so far this season are all assisted. And if it's not for those girls, looking up and getting their heads up and doing the little things, I couldn't be successful. Especially we have really great freshmen, Grace Lynch, who's leading us in points right now with crazy goals, and Maeve Leonzi also, who's just really stepping up on the field, and it's been awesome to play with them.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, it takes a village, so let's keep that
It
ball
does.
moving. So last question. I know you're busy. You gotta get out of here. What do we have to look forward to for the rest of this year and the program? How are you guys leaving your footprint on this season?
Yeah, I think going off again, last year's season was pretty rough with how short it was, and I think this year we're really ready to just put our mark on the conference and kind of shock some teams. I think a lot of teams are going to underestimate us, especially we're playing such tough teams in our conference, and I think we're just going to be ready to go out and ball out and really just show the conference what we're made of, because we're really talented this year.
Most definitely. Well, Bears fans, you heard it here first from senior captain of the women's lacrosse team, Riley Morgan. Riley, thank you again for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And for the competition, opponents, anybody who's not a part of the Bear organization, watch out, because they're coming.
The softball team bounced back after a tough weekend where they lost 4 games by responding with 4 wins. On Tuesday, they won the first of their doubleheader against Immaculata 14-6, and they held on to win the second game 8-5. The Bears' bats were alive and well in both games as they combined for 7 home runs after only hitting 1 in the previous 13 games. The Bears had another doubleheader on Wednesday against Elizabethtown, again winning both games. They took their first win of the day with a 5-3 victory as they got a complete game out of junior Alexis Miller. The Bears cruised to a 13-0 in the second game, with the star of the day being senior Mackenzie Brennan, who went 5 for 7 between both games. With so many student athletes on campus, we thought that it would be a good idea to see what a day in their life was like. We had Maddie take us behind the scenes of what it's like to be a Bear athlete.
Morning, Bears. It's about 9 a.m. I just woke up. I have class at 10. I just put laundry in. I'm about to go switch it and then go get breakfast.
I just had class and now I'm about to have lift. Now I'm at team lift with my teammates. We have it every Monday and Thursday, so today's at 2 p.m. And then on Mondays we have it at 3 o'clock. They are split. On Thursdays we do arms and that kind of stuff, and then on Thursdays we do leg kind of stuff.
Now that class is over and I have nothing to do for the rest of the day, I'm probably gonna take a nap and then do some homework. After a quick nap, now I'm doing some work and then probably gonna shower and then hang out with my friends. Now that I've showered and done all my homework, I'm gonna watch Grey's Anatomy as our nighttime show with my roommate. And yeah, that was my day. Thanks for following along, guys.
Both men's and women's tennis won their matches against Gettysburg, with the women beating the Bullets 5-3, and the men won their match in dramatic fashion with a 5-4 win that came down to the last match. We recently got the chance to sit down with sophomore Will Oberholzer and senior Maddie Russell, who recently won her 50th match. We asked them about their match against Gettysburg and how it feels to win 50 matches.
Maddie, you had a double win against Gettysburg. How does that feel to accomplish your 50th win as an Inner Science Bear?
I mean, like, it felt pretty good. I think that this was one of the first matches where I feel like we really came together as a team and pulled out this amazing win. And getting my 50th win was just like an extra.
Yeah, I'm sure it felt pretty good. Sophomore Will Oberholzer had a big doubles weekend with your partner Lars, beating the 1 seed Gettysburg. How does that feel?
It was a big win. It helped us get the match as a team, and we've been very happy with how we're playing, and I think this is the momentum we need for the rest of the year. And it goes to show our development from last year, where I don't think we would win a year ago, and now we came on top, so we were very happy with that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Both men's and women's teams are off to hot starts. What are you guys looking to accomplish this year?
I think this year is really exciting because I think this is one of our best teams we've had since I've been here as a freshman. And I'm just excited to see what will happen in the next matches and what we can pull off and hopefully possibly go to playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think we have great things going on both teams. I think the team camaraderie is great right now. I think we're a very close group and we've been very successful on the court, and we just got to stick together and do what we do best, and the results will show.
Well, thank you, Maddie and Will, for coming in, taking the time to talk to us. Coming up this weekend, the Bears Track and Field opens up their outdoor season at the Muhlenberg Invitational. Golf will compete in the Arcadia Invitational in Lakewood, New Jersey on Saturday. Also on Saturday, women's lacrosse will celebrate their senior day in a game at 12 against Muhlenberg, with men's lacrosse facing Muhlenberg at 3 p.m.
Baseball will face off against Johns Hopkins at 1 and again at 4, while softball has a doubleheader against Gettysburg with games at 1 and 3 on Saturday. Women's tennis faces off against Bryn Mawr at 5:30, and this will be their senior day. On Sunday, softball has a doubleheader against Alvernia with games at 12 and 2, while both men's and women's tennis face off against Salisbury at 2.
Well, that does it for this episode of Sports on Main.
As always, thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to show some love on our social media if you want more Bears sports content.
Tune in later this week for our next episode with James Schold and Steve Wiseman.
For Sports on Main, I'm Maddie Wilson.
And I'm Erin Devine.
And as always, go Bears!